Okay, so here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the drum stream. It's finally here. It's Tuesday, the day before Inauguration Day. What a day to talk about drums and talk about life and talk about love and limbos.
That's right, baby.
We're here with Tim Baltes, a good friend of mine, and hopefully going to be a great friend of yours by the end of the day. If you don't know Tim, you can check out his stuff here. I have linked right here. Tim Bow from Kino on Instagram and also um, other various socials, I'm sure, by the same moniker, possibly. We also have with us, as usual, Brandon Medellin, holding it down in Texas. And I'm your host, Matthew Elton Smith from the West Coast, LA, Long Beach, LBC repping. We are so happy to have Tim here. So, yeah, what up, Tim? What's good, bro?
Hello, hello. How are we all doing? How are we all doing?
We're good. We're good so
Great.
far. Um, so man, let's. I just kind of wanted to jump in.
Yeah,
We could wait for some people, but I think it's better for me to just to keep it rolling.
yeah.
So I think I have a feeling I'm the most familiar of the two of us here with your work, and
If Brandon was familiar, he wouldn't be on here right now. He wouldn't even show up.
um, dude, and so what things something I wanted to start chatting about was kind of what started your like what was your first drum set, like what came about, what happened.
So I actually started. Oh, we got a Barkster. We got a Barkster alert.
Wow.
I started playing bass when I was 12 years old, and that was out of necessity. So I played keys when I was 8, and at 12 we tried starting a band. Me and some guys, my best friends, basically. And I tried playing keys in the band. We had a guitar guy, a drum guy, a vocal guy, and they said this keys thing isn't going to work. Tim, you got to figure out how to play bass. So I begged my ma, and she bought me a little smaller bass. So I started playing bass then. Played through the time I was 15, and then again, we got a bark problem. Are we good with the bark problem?
Yeah, I'm gonna close the
I'm
door.
gonna I'm gonna call the exterminator immediately. So again, at 15, here I am trying to start another band, and the guys say, Tim, you can't play bass in the band because we can't find a drummer. You can kind of play drums, like figure it out. So I went to homeroom the next day, and I was talking to Tony Ambrosini.
Ah.
It's a very Kenoshan name. We're a very Italian town, and so Ambrosini, I told him, like, dude, like, I can't afford a drum set. I'm 15. What the heck am I supposed to do? And he said, listen, Tim, I got you. I'm going to sell you this CB drum set in wine red for $10. I said, $10, Tony, that's going to save me. Thank you.
$10
So if
drum
you
set?
$10 drum set, and
That's
I
the
made it
best.
work.
That's the best price in the world.
Man, I was
Next
so
to free.
broke. I couldn't afford a double bass pedal, but I had another buddy in homeroom who sold me another drum set for $10. So I had two wine red bass drums for a while. Thank God I never played that live. I would have
That's
been
killing.
laughed off the freaking stage, but it worked. It worked, and that's kind of how it started. It was a CB kit. I had Peisty 302s for my first cymbal set. Thank God I got rid of those pretty quick and moved up to B8s like everybody else with Wuhan Chinas, and up and up from there. I see Brandon shaking his head at the old B8s and Wuhan setup.
Damn. We got
No,
a.
I'm just like laughing how common that shit is. That's like the most. I mean, low key, Wuhan still slaps. I mean, they kind of slap,
Now
but
see, this was 15 years ago when I was playing that stuff. So it would have been about 2005 when Wuhan really kind of first got prevalent in the States. And what was so great about them then is even when you were paying $40 for an 18-inch China, it came with a 1-year warranty. So I got like 4 Chinas out of my $40. That was like that's
Oh
$10
wow.
Chinas at the end of the day. You can't
Damn.
beat that.
dude, yeah,
Damn.
yeah. I mean, and they slap. Like I said,
Yeah.
like they're not bad. Like
No.
the
Man,
fucking
I
China.
must have bought at least 2 or 3 of those 12-inch Chinas throughout the
Yo,
year.
real quick. I see we got Jack Flash. I just want to shout him out real quick.
Yo, Jack.
Real quick, we're working
Shout out
on
Jack
a.
Flag.
We got a T-shirt design we're gonna be doing. We're first announcing it here.
What? What?
Timbo
Wait.
T's. Timbo T's.
What?
Get the soundboard going, baby.
What? Okay. So what's this shirt gonna be? Is
Listen,
it gonna be
I'm
this?
not going into details. All I'm gonna say is it's gonna say my catchphrase. You know, the hello thing I do
Yeah.
like that. Hello. It's
Yeah.
gonna be that on a T-shirt with a bunch of nonsense. It's gonna be great.
You don't
Keep
want
an
it to
eye
be
out.
this design? No.
That would be amazing if someone could print that accurately.
That'd be such a hectic ass print. I'll tell you. Well, fucking cool, man. So you were rocking. I wish you had a pic of the two CBs. That'd have been sick.
I wish I'm actually probably glad I don't have a pic of that. But there's a video on YouTube. There's a video on YouTube of me playing the 1 CB with the B8 set and the Wuhan. So if you find it.
Yeah,
there you go.
every drummer has this rite of passage of getting their B8s and thinking they're really good cymbals
That's
for
right.
for a while. I think, man, it was until I don't know, it had to be early 2000s or I don't know. When I was playing like normal shows with my ska band, the Skank Agents, for a long time, and I had this really sick pick. You know, I think at that point like MySpace was big, and everyone was posting sick. You know, so all their friends were getting DSLR cameras, and so you can get your friends into your shows with thinking, you know, oh, he's taking pictures. You know that rap. And anyway, I got a really cool pick, and I realized I was just a toy drummer at that point, because then someone else commented sick B8s. And I'm like, damn.
Hey, y'all remember the B8 Pro?
Yeah,
Those were tight.
those are still cool.
Those were low key kind of gas. They were kind of gas.
They could
I mean, if you get them thin enough, I mean that's kind of the secret, right? Is, you know, Peisty figured out that if you take a non B20 alloy, a B12 or a B8, B10, I think they did a B10. In any case, if you just make those cheap things thin enough, the pitch is still going to be high, but at least they don't have that pang or that bang kind of thing to them.
I mean,
so.
I mean that's the trick with any alloy. I think. I mean, you just make it thin and hammer it, and it's good to go.
Yeah.
You know, you lathe it enough, make it thin enough, and then hammer it pretty well, and then.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a good cymbal out of it. It's like Dream. That's why Dream got so popular, because they were taking really cheap alloys and going to work with the hammering and the lathing.
Yeah, shout out to, I got my buddy Sarge in the UK. Looks like he's on right now. But you know, the
Wow.
other thing is, I think,
What up, Sarge?
what's that thing?
Wait, how many people do we have in the chat right now?
13.
Oh, that's good.
Hey Tim,
Right
are
on.
you a cool boy?
Am I a cool boy? I am a cool boy. Do we have? I don't know if anybody. Brandon, did you ever see that Cool Boy song I did a while back?
I am
Fly
a
for the
cool
better, fly for
boy.
the better.
Yeah, I did.
People always, you know, the thing is like people always love that stuff, and what I love about doing that kind of content is that it's clean and it's funny for everybody. So there's actually a family out in Seattle with 6 kids, and they made a video where everybody's singing the song, and they all consume my content. I just got a DM the other day where it was some guy, he's like, me and my wife watch your stuff all the time. I love that about
So cool, man.
my channel. Yeah.
Well, dang.
I literally took a picture of this, and like I'm putting streaming with da 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 and da 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 da. Literally, I didn't type any at yet, and both y'all's ads came up.
Fucking dude, he knows. They know. They know. I think now is kind of a good, since we got like a kind of a pretty good audience, it's a good time to show this what's up, because as you guys in the chat understand, the drum stream is a relatively new stream to the universe here, but we're trying to come out big and trying to come out swinging, and so I'm going to show you guys this flyer. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, boom! This is our weekly chop giveaway, y'all. So starting next week, between now and then, it's your guys' opportunity to win a Stack Ring pack. So what you have to do is, we have all the rules here. Post a 30-second video to Instagram of your grooviest, your filthiest, your whateveriest, your youest beat in 5/4, and tag it in Instagram on the hashtag #thedrumstream540. It's our chance to try to up our follower game on Twitch and on Instagram. We're both there. We kind of hit that this week. Last week we added these sweet clouds, And this week we added the Instagram, so make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitch. And if you want to enter, just post up a video, tag the drum stream, and use this hashtag the drum stream 540. And next week we're gonna have on Forrest Rice from Covet, and
Great drummer.
and him and myself and Brandon and I will be going through those throughout the week, and we're gonna pick our favorite 10 or however many people enter. If only one person enters, you will win, I promise. But I think we're gonna get more than that. So if you guys are really into it, please check this out. Sponsored by Stackering Percussion. I'm an artist on Stackering, and hilariously enough, I was Stackering's very first customer. So that's my humble flex for the time. All right, cool. So that's out, and we're gonna kind of revisit that at the half of the hour and the top of the hour, and try to get that in there as much as we can. Cool, y'all. So let's get back to this interview. We have a question for Tim.
Are we able to see what is that big thing that Sarge posted real quick?
Yeah, it says, question for Tim. You were always a cool metal boy when you were started doing gigs. Did you have some secret ska punk? Did you ever do any other like bands than metal when you were starting out?
Well, real quick, there was a thing in the chat real quick. It looks like Sarge said some really nice words, and I just want to say thank you to Sarge for that. But Jack.
Oh, that was my bad.
Jack, yeah, man. Actually, so I started when I was playing bass in a band. We were called Francophone, and in that band, we called it post-punk jazz rock. And so we were playing some ska stuff. The vocalist would do some trombone from time to time. There were a lot of sort of ska-y, reggae things that we were doing in that. When I played guitar, that was sort of punky ska-y. And then I actually, before I started playing drums, I sang in a ska band, which was garbage, very bad.
Yes.
But the way that I made that good is I would dress up in costumes. I would get inebriated, and then I would sing, and I had a keyboard that I would keep on like the drum channel, and instead of just like hitting things, I would literally like smack the heck out of this keyboard on the drum channel from time to time. It was as much a comedy show as it was a ska show. So there's the roots right there.
Wow. It's interesting. Brandon, were you ever in a ska band?
Fuck no.
Damn. Well, not everyone can be as cool to be in a ska band. I understand.
If you were a white child of God in the Midwest in the early 2000s, you were in a ska band, or you were lame. You were very lame.
That's some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater shit.
Man, yeah. Let's just talk about Goldfinger for the next fifth hour and a half.
I used to like ska. Look, I had like a really quick ska face, real big fish.
Of course.
Goldfinger.
Yo, if you were in a ska band, type it in the chat. What was the name of your ska band?
That's crazy though. That's so crazy though, cause like, I guess that shit is really just not popular in Texas. I feel like. I think that's more of like California for sure. That shit is super fucking.
Yeah.
It's still a thing out there.
Yeah, it's getting.
Most bands are from like California. I feel like, and then I could see like the Midwest.
That's a hilarious joke, sir.
I feel like the amount of ska bands it's probably in California. Like Texas has like blues bands.
Oh sure.
Yeah, Texas is like super fucking bluesy, man. Like super or punk.
Did you ever have to play in a blues band?
Yeah. I grew up. My grandparents own a bar. And I grew up filling in for this guy named Bobby's band. I would just play blues. Like I was like 13 in a bar.
Shuffling.
The best gig.
Like playing, like just trying to play in front of people, because like that was still like a thing. I don't know. It was like that's what I would do.
How old were you, Tim, when you got your first gig, or like whatever you credited as a gig? It could be. Yeah.
The first gig I did, I was 12, and we played. It was that little band that we had. We played. It was like a Christian conference thing. We were not a Christian band, and we had this song that everybody loved. It was called "Beef Is What's for Dinner." Amazing. It was an amazing song, and we played that to like, I don't know, must have been 350, 400 kids and people. So that was the first gig. We set the bar high with the beef song.
Dang. Wow, the beef song. I think I mean, man, I always credit my first gig was somehow, I don't know why or how, but on the last day of 5th grade, I must have been 10 or 11 or something. My dad got me into my classroom, my 5th grade classroom. He set up a PA system and a CD player, and I played like Green Day, Welcome to Paradise, Sell Out by Real Big Fish, fucking Santana, boom boom boom, with what's that guy?
Oh, Rob Thomas.
Yeah, that Rob Thomas song. And I swear to God, I think I played Mbop by Hanson.
Amazing.
My dad, yeah, that was my first gig, and hilariously enough, I came back on the first day of 6th grade thinking I was gonna be like, everyone was gonna be like, oh yeah, you played the fuck. No one remembered, not a single person. I was still just as not cool in 6th grade.
I used to fuck with a lot of '90s hits, man. Cause when I was little, my mom was a workaholic. I was always home alone watching TV, so I liked music because of my uncle and shit. So I would watch VH1.
Oh yeah.
VH1.
Heck yeah.
And I would watch the top 100 best songs of the '90s. Blah blah blah.
What was your favorite one to play?
Dude, honestly, my favorite one. Okay, like from the songs that they had in that compilation, probably like number one, "Get What You Give," New Radicals.
I can't believe you
they're
said
reuniting for the Biden thing.
That's the shit, dude. One chance left.
That's a sick song. That's a sick song.
That is a beautiful song. It's perfect.
Probably like fucking "Freak on a Leash" or some shit.
Some corn shit. Heck yeah.
Oh no.
Some corned out shit.
Do you follow that meme page, Corn DMT? It's a good one.
I've seen memes from there.
That's a good meme page.
High quality material. Jack Flash used to tour with Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish.
God dang. That's cool.
I remember Less Than Jake. There was a pop punk band I think they're from California. They're called Set Your Goals. You remember them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Set Your Goals was on tour with Less Than Jake, and they stayed at my friend's house in Kenosha when they came through. That was like the coolest thing when we were kids.
Man, I used to rock Set Your Goals in my lifted Ford Ranger with my subwoofer, For real though, like no.
Ford is the best in Texas. That's what the commercials here in the Ford commercials in Texas say.
We got a question. Do you remember the first song you ever played live on drums, like a cover song? That's from Jack.
I think the first cover we did was it was that Black Flag song, Nervous something? Shit. Was it Nervous Breakdown? Yeah, Nervous Breakdown.
Wow. I mean, Real Big Fish, Sell Out, dude. If you're in the ska band and you didn't cover Real Big Fish, Sell Out at your show, like you were a trash ska band. That's so funny.
Did you ever see anyone do the Real Big Fish Take On Me cover?
Oh, we did that one before. Someone, I was like, we played a birthday party, a Sweet 16 party, and they asked for that particular song.
With a 16-year-old, was she like a white girl with dreads?
Yeah. Okay, bye. Well, cool. Let's keep on hitting Tim real quick. What?
You missed the best joke.
Oh, god damn it! What did I miss? Fuck.
I said, was the 16-year-old a white girl with dreads?
Oh shit. No, she was not. But yeah, that was pretty cool because we got to dress up in all 80s gear. That was fun. Anyway, yo, Jack is killing the chat.
Jack was in a drummer magazine?
Damn.
I had no clue.
You should send us that, dude. Whoa, that's cool. Best day of my life was playing and leaving the main stage. Oh my gosh, my dog. He hates when my wife leaves. Wow, watching Limp Bizkit on side stage and Travis Barker came up. Nah, that's tight.
Wow, that's crazy.
Come here.
Travis Barker does shit with Machine Gun Kelly now.
Which is nuts. And he's starting to look old. Travis is looking like dad grandpa mode almost.
It's weird. It's high key cringe as fuck to me, but I mean they're making hella money.
Yeah,
They're making
they are.
hella money. I know they are.
Well, heck yeah. Let's I have this I'm gonna kind of dive into a little some Tim lore here.
Oh
Let
no.
me I have some funny pictures. We want to take a look at this drum
Oh,
set.
you went diving.
Yeah, this is your first drum post ever, and
So
it's
that
what's this kit?
so that kit was from the kid who played drums in my first band when I played bass, and I wanted to buy it off him for so long. It's an original 0203 gold badge oak custom kit in matte Sedona red.
Damn,
Rare finish, rare kit,
that's
great
so cool.
sounding drums. 20, 8, 10, 12, 14, and a matching 5.5 snare. And I was just that was the first pick I posted of drums ever on Instagram,
That's so
and
cool.
I mean, it just kind of snowballed from there. That was kind of how I started first meeting people, like making acquaintances on Instagram was through these drum picks, because I would post
Yeah,
not only newer custom stuff, but I would post a lot of vintage too. And so, like, Joe Cox, he was one of the first friends that I met. He's the drum tech for Bob, who plays drums for Catfish and the Bottlemen. And I'm so just grateful for that friendship, and it's just spawned out of freaking posting old drum picks.
heck yeah. And Brandon and I were talking this week, and you have like a lot of vintage gear.
Yes, so that's kind of part of my sound. I remember, and really, I haven't been playing vintage that long. I mean, I guess comparatively, I've only been playing vintage since '09. I bought my first vintage kit then, which was a 22, 13, 16 super classic Ludwig kit. It was a 65, and it was in champagne sparkle, and I paid $200
Dude,
for it.
that's my favorite color, champagne
Great
sparkle.
color, great
Great
color.
color.
And that kit's owned by someone I know down in Nashville now. But I kind of had a love for it from there, and it's kind of just like part of my thing now. Sometimes it's actual vintage gear, and then also it's like just vintage aesthetics. I'm working with a company. I've been working with. Do you remember that company, Risen Drums? You ever
Risen?
heard of them? I see Brandon saying, yeah. Risen was like a big Christian company, and so they're rebranded. The dude who's been building the actual drums for 15 years, his name's Grady, and Grady is the owner of the company now, and obviously still builds the drums. And so they rebranded to Franklin Drum Co.
Oh,
Um,
oh, mm-hmm.
you heard of Franklin? So I've actually been helping Grady with the whole rebrand over the last, I don't know, 8-9 months. Great dude, and he's building me a kit. I'm getting it's completely vintage inspired. Everything's to my spec.
Nice.
The bearing edges are vintage inspired. The hoops, I'm going with 1.6 hoops versus the thicker 2.3 modern hoops. And most importantly, the finish. We had been talking with Delmar, who's the company that makes wrap for everybody in the U.S., and we wanted to recreate Lemon Strata, which was a finish that Ludwig did in the 70s on the standard line. It's basically like, the Ringo finish. It's kind of like that, but it's just like bumblebee yellow and black Strata. And look at this dog. Oh, this poor doggy. Oh, no, Matt. Oh, no.
Sorry.
So, anyways, oh, man, that poor dog. So, I was telling Brandon that we're trying to recreate Lemon Strata for this kit, which was that black and gold or black and yellow bumblebee yellow finish that they did in the 70s. Ludwig did in the 70s. We can't get Delmar to do wrap unless we do 100 sheets, which is like enough. It's enough wrap for like 20 kits, so we can't afford to do that. But oh shoot, Jack just sent me the drummer magazine. So I'm looking at that right now.
Wow, that's cool.
But yeah, anyways, Delmar can't make the wrap, so we're working with this crazy paint dude up in Minneapolis who's probably going to paint Lemon Strata, and it's going to be real dope. So it's not vintage drums, but it's going to be totally vintage inspired.
Do you know what do you know what bearing edges you're going to use?
Yes. So I got 2 kicks, 2 toms, and a snare. I'm just trying to see what. Look at this. We got baby Jack in the spread right here. Oh
Yeah,
my
Jack.
God.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh, look at this. Look at this pic. Here he is rocking. There he is.
Drum face. Drum face.
Wow, look at that. That's amazing. Jack Usher. So, anyways, on my I do a graduated bearing edge, and so by that I mean I go from round to sharp. My kicks, I'm doing full round overs, and that kind of it retains enough punch with my heads generally, my head selection, but it's still round enough where I get rid of a lot of that basketball-y sound. And then on the toms, I want a little more punch. And so I do a round over on the outside, and then I cut real hard with a 45 on the inner. And the idea behind that is that I get that nice round tone, but you let the drum open up so I get a higher tuning range. I can go lower, I can go higher. On snares, if I go with a vintage drum, generally, like usually if I'm cutting edges on old drums, like if I'm screwing with an original edge, it's on the Japanese stuff because half the time they don't have edges to begin with. So I would cut super sharp on those. But on this kit, I'm trying to recreate the feel of the downbeat snare that Ludwig did in the 60s, which is a 14/4 8-lug drum. And so we're going to go with a full round over on the top, and then to retain some snap on the bottom, we're going to do a 45 round over on there. Nerd
Wow.
talk, but
yeah, that's
I guess
super
there you
nerdy.
go.
That's cool though.
It's kind of, it's interesting because like that's kind of my skill set is, I mean, it's all over the place, right? But like part of my skill set is understanding how to get a drum to sing the way I want it to. And so that's been, I've been using that skill set to consult with Franklin on how they're going to do what they do and how they do what they do.
Yeah, you said doo-doo.
Do.
Well, cool. Let's do
Can
another.
we give that dog some bacon?
Man, can I really want to like take a second to just like
Take
kind
a
of take care
second.
of it.
Take a second, and I got this. Brandon, let me tell you, when I went to Holland, Michigan, late last year, I went to this place. It's like Little Holland, and they got candy at a candy shop that's all from Holland, Danish candies and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna taste test some candies. I got right here. This is called Pastilles. We got milk and bittersweet flavored morsel. Let's try it out. Brandon is not into the candy review, but I don't give a shit. We're gonna eat.
No. That's not, no. I was reading something. I was reading. My bad. I got distracted now.
I'm just screwing with you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's try out some candy.
Hey. I was gonna say. I wanted to ask this question.
Yeah.
We talked about it last night. I was gonna say, what top 5
Yeah.
all-time favorite vintage shell packs in terms of like the brand and the shell pack?
Okay. First, I'm going to talk about what is whack, and the reason is because so many people think this stuff is cool. Camco drums. Hello, dog. Dog, go take a nap. Take a freaking nap. We're done. Go. I hope that dog heard me.
This is the first time that this dog has tweaked on stream. The first time.
Give it some edibles or something.
I know this dog.
They're in California. Give the dog.
Needs to get high.
Give that dog a freaking edible. I know you got some over there. You're in California, Matt.
Yeah, I actually gave him a CBD edible. So we'll see. I'm just trying to.
Your wife left, right? That's why he's bugging.
Yeah.
Yo, by the way, this Danish candy is dope. This is very good candy.
Let me see it. Look, put it in the camera.
What's that?
Put it in the camera. I want to see it.
It's like Danish. It's from Holland.
Danish. Danish.
I got all sorts of stuff. This is called licorice Mounties. I don't think that's going to be good. I got this. This is called Ape Coppin Sweet. It's a little monkey face, and it's got chocolate that's like milk chocolate and white chocolate.
You're more of a chocolate guy than a candy guy?
Oh, I like candy too, but this is just what they had at Little Holland out in Michigan. I got a caramel thing here. What else do I got in here? I got mints and all this other crap. There's a candy. This is
That-
called
that-
a Babelars. I can't tell you. This is all in Danish. I can't read Danish.
That's funny as fuck. Cause like when I go to places like that, I ball out on candy too.
Well, the only reason I do the candy is because I used to do candy reviews on Instagram Live, and then
Oh.
I'd save the video and then just like chop it up and put silly music under it and all that sort of thing. But so vintage drums. Oh, we got Taze on Day. He's in the house. He's
Chocolate rain
back.
in the house.
He finally remembers who I am. Oh,
Hey.
thank God.
Hey! Shout out to Dakota. He's in here too.
What up, Dakota? Yeah, and Tanner's in here too.
Tanner as well. Oh, Tanner just got his stack shit from Stack Ring.
Heck yeah.
Okay, the top 5 vintage shell.
Right.
Let's get into it.
Okay, first of all, Camco is garbage. Everyone says Camco is the best of the best. I've never had a good experience with a Camco kit. I owned a 24-13-16, and it had edges done by Joe Montanari, who was one of the only 2 custom builders back in the day. Basically, you had Bill Dedamore at Pork Pie on the West Coast, and you had Joe Montanari on the East Coast building custom drums in the 80s and early 90s. And so these edges are supposed to be killer. And those drums did not do anything. What does that sound mean?
We got a subscription or a follower. Thanks for following.
Were they just like flat, like womped out, like they had no like true tone to them?
No, it was kind of Gretchy. I guess as far as the tone, it was too punchy. They're oversized shells. So the other kit I had was a 2012-14 Oak Lawn kit, and it was all original. And the heads are so oversized that you have to either use like the Evans heads on it,
Wow.
or you have to use I forget what they call them. It's a Remo head, the classic fit, where it's a little wider to fit on top, and then you're super limited because you basically have coated or not your clear ambassadors. You can't get EMPs, you can't get whatever else you want to get.
Oh, whoa! That's crazy. I didn't even know anything about that.
Gretsch is the same way, especially because Gretsch gets like they have kind of a notoriety for becoming out around real quick.
Mm.
And so, Sarge, pre-international's different. Camco was an American kit. They had such a wide shell. But yeah, pre-international, Sarge is referring to British drums, which is even weirder. Premier and I think there's some box kits out there. Basically European kits came with like metric sized heads on them. That's the same kind of concept in that you have to, you got to buy these metric sized heads to fit on them.
Dang, that's like getting some like stuff mixed up in different Asian countries or something like.
Yeah, kind of like that. And so, anyways, Camco's garbage. I really love the Rogers Cleveland shell, which is 3-ply, and then it comes with applied bearing applied re-ring. And I've owned 2 2012-14 kits in that. One with split lugs, and then one with, they call it a tower kit, like center lugs, kind of like the club date kits.
Yeah.
And I hate center lugs because you have a very, very short tuning range. Basically, you got to have it at one pitch. You get too far away from that pitch and it gets all wonky. With the split lugs, you can get a lot farther. So I think one of my top favorite kits is a 2012-14 Cleveland Rogers shell with split lugs.
Does Rogers use Keller shells or no? Or is this different?
I think in Dayton, when they went to what was a 5-ply shell with applied re-ring, those were Keller made. Both great shells.
I have 2 Rogers kits.
You have 2?
Yeah, I have a black power tone.
Yeah.
I think it's from the 70s. I'm not sure.
Is it Fullerton?
Yeah, I think so.
72.
And then I have a Londoner kit.
Oh yeah. Those are the 2012, 13, 16.
2012, 13, 16. Yeah. But I'm trying to get rid of the Londoner bass drum because I don't know. I just don't really like the 22x14. That's just me. And because I have a 20x, I'm keeping the power tone kick that's 20x14, and throwing the Londoner toms on it, and then I'm getting rid of
Mm.
the black power tone toms with the Londoner kick. Like
You
it's,
gonna rewrap them all to match then or something?
no, nah. I like the black with the natural toms. I feel like
Well,
there's
that's
like,
kind of tight.
yeah, it's like it's really, there's something like super like natural and like aggressive about it. I don't know. I really
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Plus having the two toms on the 20
Yeah.
by 14 is crazy. You get so much reach.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really dope. But yeah.
Those are good drums. I remember, a part of my kind of drum thing is I used to go hunting for drums all the time, and I was down in. Jack says he wants a 20 by 12 kick. I actually, the kit that I'm getting from Franklin's coming with. I'm getting a 20 by 12 kick. I'm getting a 16 by 12 kick, no riser, just sitting on the floor, and then I'm getting a 12 by 8, 14 14, and then the 14 14 snare. But so, anyways, drum hunting. I went to Springfield, Illinois, which is like 3 hours south of Chicago, and there was a place there called House of Music. And I walked in there. I heard stories that it was full of new old stock gear. I went in. It's got like a first floor, and then you can walk up these real creaky, goofy stairs. And then literally there was all these drum kits under plastic from the 70s. And the owner at the time, this was in 2013, 2014, he was 86, and he would still come to work every day in a suit, but he had Alzheimer's, and so he kind of didn't remember a ton of things, and he would get real angry real quick. But I tried talking to him, and he said, "Well, I started this music shop back in '72, and I owned the house out back." And he said it was owned by this drummer that said that he was faster than Buddy Rich, and he couldn't remember the name. And I knew of this drummer, rare drummer. His name's Barrett Deems. He played with Louis Armstrong in the '50s. And I said, "Oh, do you mean Barrett Deems?" He said, "Yeah." And that opened the door for me. He took me into this house behind the music shop, and it was the most amazing thing. We go out down into the basement, literally a mountain of drums just stacked. You go through another corridor, an entire room of new old stock hardware and boxes. You go into a further room, new old stock drum heads, floor to ceiling, the whole room.
Jeez.
I've never seen anything like it before or since.
Do you think he's like
And
a hoarder or a collector?
what he did is he wouldn't sell anything unless he got what he wanted for it. Excuse me.
That's good.
So I bought a new old stock 72 Rogers kit, 22, 12, 13, 16, 18. New old stock. It was really, really neat. There's a video of it on YouTube.
Wow. Yo, we gotta catch up on the chat here real quick. We got a couple questions. From Jack. What heads do you use? He says he was endorsed by Evans, but when they introduced the level 360, but he's been scared to use anything else other than Evans before.
Oh, my bad.
And yeah, we'll get to that one. What heads are you using? Y'all using?
Remo. I use if I want something more lively, I use the Classic Fit Ambassador coateds. Even on modern drums, because they have that extra film, it's a little wider, and so that on the bearing edges that I like on toms, there's always a round over on the end. That extra film better conforms to the bearing edge, so I get a better sound on my drums. If I want to do like a rock thing or a thuddy thing, I use and I'll just use Ambassador coateds on the bottom for that lively setup. For my thuddy thing, I use white suede Emperors, which is just basically like a black suede but white, on my tops and the toms, and then on the bottoms I'll use like a coated Emperor on the bottom of my 12 or my 13, and then on my floor tom I use a coated Power Stroke 3 to get rid of some of that wonky stuff on the bottom of the floor tom. For my kicks, always Power Stroke 3 coated on the batter, and then I'll use an Ambassador or Emperor weight head on the front with a felt strip, one of those cheapy felt strips. So then it's kind of adjustable dampening. Snare drums, I usually use Pure Sound wires, standard old Ambassador snare side, and then I'll use a number of heads, oftentimes an Ambassador coated, other times an Emperor, Ambassador X sometimes, which is a thicker single coated head, or the P77 coated if I really really want to tone it down and kind of dial it in.
The Ambassador X has the center dot, right? But it's on the
No,
it's
no, no, no dot on that one.
really okay.
Or
I must have a
yeah,
different
I
one
think
then,
so.
because I
Yeah.
swear I have one with a dot on the bottom. Like you can't see the dot on top, but it's on the bottom.
Are you thinking of the CS dot coated? Maybe.
Beats me, bro.
I be strapped with the vintage Emperors, man.
Those are dope.
I even put it on my snare and crank my snare up. That's what I like.
Mm.
Yeah, they there's something about, and the difference is, if people wonder, the normal Ambassador is polypropylene. The only thing they changed with the vintage is it's made out of polyester, so it's just a different material, and it seems to round out the high end, especially on a snare drum, so you can crank it up, but it doesn't sound like you're hitting a tin can or anything.
Yeah. Caleb Zish, is that what or Caleb Zaya?
Mm-hmm. Caleb.
Y'all know, he's asking me if I sold that 20x7 yet. No, I haven't.
Hit him up. 20x7 for sale.
DM me. Do you live in Texas? Oh.
Yeah, he'll
I'll ship it. I'll drive it over.
We also got another one from Jack saying riser or no riser for the small kicks.
Sorry, I got chocolate in my mouth.
I feel like risers. It depends. I don't know. It's all preference, really. Me, because I'm always gonna be on some like crazy footwork shit, doing doubles all the time. Um, riser is dope or an essential for like a 16 for me, but on an 18, I wanted to tell you, Tim, I just bought my CNC bop kit today.
Oh wow, what shells?
I did maple, poplar, maple.
Very nice.
And I'm getting, which I haven't. I don't think there's many people who have this. I'm getting a purple satin.
Ooh, like the flame?
Huh?
The flame wrap?
No.
Or like a lacquer?
Like
Lacquer.
flat purple, right?
The flat purple, like flat lavender. It's lavender.
Ooh.
And so it's crazy. So it's gonna be lavender, and it's what's it called? It's 12x8, 18x12.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I got to be on some shit. I got a 14x13.
Ooh, yeah, there you go. That's
cool.
like the Yamaha thing, right?
Yeah, and then like what was I gonna say? On the bass drum hoops, I got abalone inlays. So it's gonna be a lavender hoop with the abalone inlay.
That's gonna be real sick.
No one has that. No one.
No, you got center lugs, or are you doing split lugs?
I'm doing center lugs. I'm trying center lugs, but I think center lugs are good for that that size range. I think center lugs have there's some issues with center lugs with bigger drums in my opinion. But like since it's bop sizes, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna do like that contemporary like medium bop sound, kind of like the Marcus Gilmore sound, kind of.
And that's where those sing. So that should be perfect.
Yeah, like it's maple, poplar maple, so it's gonna be relatively like lower in the lower register, but when you crank them up, it won't be like thudded out. It'll sing enough, but like not have too many wild overtones. Like it won't sound like Gretsch. Gretsch is dope, but I feel like, well, no, I actually like the way Gretsch bop toms sound, but I think more like I feel like a lot of bop kits are too wild in the toms.
Yeah.
Like they're really unsustainable, but like I'm really looking forward to the CNC, and like I never seen anybody with a lavender CNC, like nobody.
No, especially with everything you're getting on it, that's like a one of a kind.
And then the bearing edges, I did some crazy shit, man. Honestly, y'all can roast me if y'all want. I think they're gonna do it, but I think it's gonna be the baseball thing.
On all of them?
Yeah.
And I mean, I if I was gonna build a kit like that, I would probably do the baseballs on it too, because then what it's gonna sound like is an old Ludwig.
Yeah, it's gonna sound like an old Ludwig. It's gonna be that medium bop shit.
It'll sing right there. Yeah.
Because I want to tune the bass drum punchy.
Yep.
And have a pillow in it, and no riser. It's gonna be on that no riser 18 shit. and then like I'm gonna be on the toms are gonna be almost high pitch, but not quite. But like still,
Mm.
you could still roll doubles on them if you want.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Well,
Bro,
Jack's got the Gretsch. He's got the Gretsch bop. Ooh, he's got a lavender Kiesel. Some or not Jack. Some other guy's got a lavender
Oh,
Kiesel.
that's the guy who lives right by me.
Oh, no
Tanner.
kidding.
Tanner, yeah, he got a headless lavender Kiesel Allen Holdsworth guitar.
That's wild.
wow.
I I actually have production model number one, the Revette kit that Ludwig does for Revival Drum Shop,
Mm.
and that's got the 18 by 12, the 12 by 8, and the 14 by 14. And what they do is like a round over on all of them, so it's something like a Gretsch or an old Ludwig. But what I did is I put die-cast hoops on it, so then it's the toms turn into like total Gretsch toms. But what I really like about, something that we don't talk about a lot is bass drum depth and what that does to affect the sound. And so when I think about that, I like 1812s because you get way more punch and way less kind of bump than an 1814.
Hmm.
The other thing I really like is it's a non-traditional size is the 22 by 12, which they called a New Yorker or a Ray McKinley model. Ludwig did back in the 50s and 60s. And a 22 by 12 I really like because now you get all the punch of a 20, but all the body of a 22 or a 24. Really, really, really great stuff. So yeah, I think Brandon's kit's gonna be real dope.
It's gonna look cool too. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, Tim.
Yo,
So, what the heck, bro? Like, how did you get to where you are today? As far as like, what would you say to someone like aspiring to start on Instagram? I remember a while ago, probably when I first started talking to you, that you reached out on your story and you said like, hey, if anyone wants me to look at their page and help them get off the ground, like and the one thing you told me, and it still rings true, is like, yo man, your vids are good, but your audio is trash. So like, what could you say to people trying to come up in the world?
I think that's part of it, and the thing that I preach more than anything now is putting out your authentic self. I mean, if I was doing it now, if I had and I have the new iPhone 12 Pro or whatever, I could film with that, and the audio is actually not that bad.
Yeah.
So just make sure kind of understand aesthetics, sound wise, visually, make something look cool, and that's going to accentuate what you look and sound like and how people perceive you. And as far as authenticity is concerned, like, I'm not just a drummer, right? A lot of Instagram drummers, I'm not going to name any names, but so many people are so serious about everything,
Mm-hmm.
and you never see people smiling, and then they play the same chop or whatever 1,000 times, and in a row. And what's the point of that? What are you doing?
I feel like you've built a bit of satire on the Instagram drummer, and that's why a lot of people can relate, and I can just say like they still follow and they understand, like you've gotten people, like I remember when we kicked it at the NAMM show and you were talking about how like some of your heroes like recognized you, and like that's insane.
And that's what I'm leaning into is this whole comedy thing, because it's like, and right now it's 50-50 normally. Normally what I do is I'll post a drum video in the middle of the day, and then I'll post a reel of funny stuff at the end of the night. And that's what this authenticity thing is, right? Is I'm going to do the drum thing, but I'm also going to do this other thing, this comedy thing, because that's me too. So like, if you're a drummer, lean into whatever you are. Like Jack is a drummer and he's a tattoo artist, and if he wanted to make, and he's a straight up artist, he's good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if Jack wanted to make a drumming Instagram, I would tell him like, do your drumming and then like show your art on the same thing, because it's you. Like, this is what you are. Sarge, Sarge is an IT dude, and he's into video games, and he's a father, and he's a drummer, and now he's a bass player. So like, if Sarge wanted to do an Instagram page, I'd say like, do whatever the things are that you love that make sense.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, did Fred Armisen, like, did you get to talk to him? Or did you did he say anything to you, like, because I feel, I mean, if we're
Oh
talking
man.
drums and comedy, like that fool did comedy for drummers, you know, like that's like that was
Yeah.
his bill. So like what did he say anything to you?
So okay, so I played when I did the Revival Drum Shop 10th anniversary show. I was fortunate enough to be on a bill with Fred Armisen, which is what Matt's talking about. And I opened the show, and then it was Johnny Niekratz, who's an amazing experimental jazz kind of avant-garde dude up in Portland, and then it was Adam Morford, who's the Morph Beats guy, and then Mark Juliana, and then Matt Chamberlain, and then it was Fred Armisen headlined the thing. Brandon, funny enough, uh, Mark played my, like, I had my cymbals and my snare. We had coffee that morning, and then we get over to the venue later, and Mark hops on the kit that has my snare on it, my cymbals, and he's like, you know, doing his thing, and then he stops and he's like, "Hey, whose stuff is this? This sounds pretty good." And I'm like, "Oh, that's my stuff."
Does he sound like
So,
Mickey Mouse?
no, that's my voice for everybody. But it was just like so crazy, and like it's that thing with Mark. This is just a side note. Is just crazy. I posted. Do you remember after the election was done, and I did that meditation video where I'm like screaming? Do you remember that at all?
Man, I must have missed that one,
So
but I would
I'll
have.
have to link you. But you know, like I posted this video, and then Mark DMs me a video of his son, like recreating his 10-year-old son recreating this whole video.
No way.
And it was just like, wow, like this is it was just incredible. But Fred Armisen. So I play the show. I did my time, and afterwards, like I did a speech and I played a solo, and Mark Juliana came up to me and he's like, "Oh man, Tim, that was beautiful. That was really beautiful, man." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then Matt Chamberlain was up by the green room and kind of came over to me and he was like, "Hey man, you can really play." And so like now I'm like melting. I'm like melting at this point. And I go back to the green room to grab my stuff, and I was gonna head back to my place a little later, and Fred's in there with a huge entourage of people, and Fred Armisen and his people. It was like a movie, and they all like like glare at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. I don't know if you're allowed to,
You can cuss. Fuck
all
it.
right. But you know, I was just so bizarre. And so it was a really bad experience. He didn't say anything to me, nothing.
Oh
Now,
man.
cut to summer of 2020. I get a text out of the blue from Jose, the owner of
right.
Revival Drum Shop. And Jose's like, "Hey, did Fred ever hit you up?" And I'm thinking, like, what Fred other than Armisen do we both know?
Yeah.
And I said, "Is it Fred Armisen?" He's like, "Yeah. Fred hit me up. He asked me all about you. He wanted your, you know, I gave him your number." And I was like, "What?" And then he went on. And Jose's like, "Yeah, Fred wants to know where you live."
Dude.
Like, what is this?
Dude, shout out Fred.
Shout out Fred Armisen. Fred never hit me up, but I'm waiting for the day where he just like shows up on my front porch like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know.
It's gonna be the weirdest. I can't wait till Fred Armisen does his Timbo accent impression.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that.
I wonder too. Like, I mean, you know, big thoughts here, but like, wouldn't it be friggin' awesome to see like him go on a? I mean, when the world opens up again, and he does like a drum comedy tour, and he brings out the 3 funniest drummers in the friggin' United States, and you know, that should be
If I
you,
get the
dude.
bill for that, dude, I'd be down.
That'd
I'd
be so
down.
cool. Can you just imagine just fucking, or just even Grandma Timbo being the MC of the
man.
whole night? Just
Holy Lord.
MC
I
it,
would
dude.
cry.
That'd be even better. That means you don't have to play drums at all, and you can
That's
still,
right.
still get paid.
Thank God.
Well, man, I think that's such a cool like part of your history and a part of your career. You know, is how like you've kind of come up through the internet and like just to make content that's obviously and you know very you and
Yeah.
you know something I'm taking away from this too is just to every content you put out just be you, man. It's like the most important thing and you know.
I think so. That's what it comes down to, right? Because if you're not you, people are going to catch on. If you're being fake, people are going to catch on. And I think that's kind of what happens with more of the real drum community rather than like these people who just consume the content. So like if you talk to guys like us and you see an account with 150,000 followers who just plays the same chop or the same kick lick every other day, when we see that, we're going to be like, all right, this guy's an idiot. But if you see the people who have, like me, for instance, who have, well, for a long time, it was like 10 or 12,000 followers. Now, my thing's been blowing up. I'm at like 21,000 followers now. But even at that, it's not, it's a fraction of what these other people have. But if you see someone who's just doing their thing, whether it's 1,500 or 15,000 followers, and you can tell that it's just like them being them, like, I think you're much more apt to like want to communicate with those people, recognize them for who they are.
Sure. Were there ever any like people that said like, Tim, like what the heck are you doing? Like were there any like haters coming up like in the past?
I get haters all the time. I think recently because of that metric modulation post I did.
That's the funniest fucking one.
Do you see that one, Brandon?
Yeah.
So that thing's got almost 300,000 views and like 6,000 likes. The guitar player from Tool reposted it on his story last night.
Bitchin'.
And I got like another 200 followers overnight from that.
Damn.
Well,
Yeah, that is a full air horn.
The whole thing too is because like that shit is like a meme right now, that metric modulation. And I remember seeing that back in the summer and it was still low key. And then I remember a few weeks ago, do you know Marco Sirigliano, the Italian drummer?
Oh yeah.
He was like, because he did one a really long time ago and he was all butthurt because it became a meme and shit. And
didn't Spanky do it first? Am I right when I say that?
It might have been.
I feel like that was a Spanky thing like a long time ago, or maybe like Spanky brought it back to light. Maybe chat can help me out on that one, but I'm not
I just
sure.
knew that there was one specific one that I remember back in the summer, and then it like blew up again, and everybody started posting it, and then you did that, and I saw that, and I was like, yeah, pretty much that's the vibe.
But it's so good. It's just like the fact that it's just
and,
like so great from the very beginning. It's just like.
And so many people hated on me. So many people. I had to block. I probably blocked 40 or 50 people in the last week because of that video.
What were people saying? Like, if you don't.
I think the worst one that really, really ticked me off was, you know how that Sarah Tower, she's that Canadian, Indian Canadian drummer. And she's been doing this thing now where she's like drumming and like speaking over it. I assume it's in Indian rhythms. I don't know anything about that. But, she's doing this thing where she's kind of talking, singing while she's drumming. And I think somebody must have misconstrued what I was doing in my video as like making fun of her. And obviously they've never seen another one of my videos because I've been singing and drumming in like the stupidest way for literally 4 or 5 years now. So that was like really frustrating to get a comment like, oh yeah, you're so mean. Like Sarah is so cool and you're an idiot. And I'm just like, this channel is a freaking joke. Like go home. Yeah. So I blocked that ding dong. Also, Sarge said he sent me a ween pic.
A weenie pic?
I got this. Look at this is what I got. This is the pic he sent me. I don't know who this is.
That must be a Richard right there.
Must be a dick.
Dang. Well, and it's good too. I mean, to be able to field all that and not, and just.
I don't care.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to care. It's like. It doesn't matter.
My life is a joke, so I never care about anything.
I mean, I feel like the only reason that person hit you up on that shit was because they saw that video right before they stumbled upon your video.
Maybe.
And then they're like, I mean, here's
the other thing. It's a white dude trying to be Mr. White Knight, and I'm just like, okay, buddy. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we won't dive into that, but it's like, bro, like, this is not your battle, and my life is a joke. Please stop.
But like, how I like that? It's just, well, I mean, the whole thing is like, I didn't even correlate that shit.
No, what? How did you get the impression that this is anything like what she's doing? She has skill. I'm being an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, plus, like, it's like the meme is like everyone's doing that video.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's I mean, I obviously knew what the fuck the meme was.
Right. At least, you know what? Hey, at least 6,000 people get it. Maybe, 250,000 have seen it and only 100 have complained.
Yeah.
That's good odds. I'll bet. I'll put that on
I'll
black.
take them odds.
I'll put that on black. You know. Yeah. No one understands the satire on Instagram.
No.
I think that's the funny thing. You know, like as you know, when as far as I've got like done social media for a while, like I feel like every platform has this like comedy satire aspect at first, and then it becomes serious. You know, like Instagram was this interesting place. You know, 15-second videos. Let's not forget those. Those are funny as heck. And then they put the minute out, and then you have more of a chance to express yourself and to show what you are. But like people still like think everything they need to post needs to be this 100% like polished like a thing, and it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be whatever the heck you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know? Projecting their negativity onto Tim, not cool. Agreed.
Not cool.
Agreed. Not sick at all. Well, heck yeah. I wanted to bring in maybe another vid.
Let's check it out.
This was I just thought this was a cool one, and this wasn't any that I've needed to dive far, but
No.
but it's a I don't know if you remember this. You'll remember this. This is me and
us.
Tim peeping it, playing at the lake. I have that gong now.
Yeah. Can you tell I don't know what the heck I'm doing with a cajon?
Who does anyway? What about this one? Boom! Anyway, yeah, that was really fun. Oh, look at this
Do
one.
you remember what year that was?
That had to have been 2017 or 2018, summer 2018.
I can tell you can tell how sick I was in that.
That's crazy. Your videos have been popping up on my feed for like years, and like I never thought I would interview one day.
Here we are. You got the most famous guy you know right here.
It's I thought it was, I mean, the full D was I was out in Chicago doing a drum or a jazz camp, and
Ravinia, right?
Yeah, Ravinia jazz camp, and we had a night off or a day off, and I just randomly hit Tim up. This is how nice
Took
this
the
guy
train
is.
up and we hung out at the lake.
Yeah, he picked me up at the train station. Yeah, we went and got some curds.
Yeah.
And I think you took me to Wisconsin's finest curd shop, whatever the heck that is.
Did we go to Bratstop or not Bratstop?
No.
The Cheese Castle.
The Cheese Castle.
Yeah, baby.
Got some curds, and for everyone in the chat, I was one of the many that thought Tim actually sounded like his videos, and he was gonna pick me up, hello, doing one of these, and no, he just said, hey, how you doing? Normal ass dude.
I talk about that all the time, so I don't really need to go into detail. But yeah, it's funny. I used to do those things where I would put my phone number up on Instagram, and I would get those calls all the time where I'd be like, from a random person, I just say, hello, and I hear nothing, and I'd be like, hello, is anyone there? And they say, is this Timbo? Yeah, you don't sound like him. It's like, well, if I talked like, hello, how we doing? If I was that all the time, I would literally be insane or a cocaine addict, like one of the two. Probability 100%.
No, definitely.
God dang.
Definitely.
Yep. And then it's just been fun ever since. Yo, what up, Vu? Everybody.
Vu, shout out Vu.
Yeah, shout out Vu.
Vu?
Vu's our homie.
Vu's a great producer out of the Bay Area. Very, very good musical man himself. See, we're at the top of the hour here. I want to bring back up, since we got some hella people in here.
How many people are in here?
We got 20 people in here. This is great. This is
Wow.
great. We got a love this Twitch stream. Heck yeah. So check it out, you guys. Everyone in the chat, listen up. This is important. I'm gonna bring this flyer up here. Kaboom! We got a weekly chop challenge. This is our first official challenge, and we're asking everyone in the chat that's a drummer or not to Instagram to film your filthiest whateverest US beat in 5/4 and tag us, and also use the hashtag #TheDrumStream540. We're gonna pick our favorite 10, and we're gonna review them next week with our guest, who's to be named Forrest Rice. Will be on the chat or in the stream next week. And
his dad invented rice. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, he's a rice connoisseur.
The namesake of rice.
And we're gonna pick our favorite 10. Watch him here on the stream, and then we're gonna pick a winner. And that winner
will
will
say something.
Yeah, hit it.
Okay. So on the 5/4, you can either do a big 4, or you can do quintuplets, or you can do any group of 5.
If you're me, you try to play it and then you give up because you're an idiot and you can only play 4s and 3s.
You know, twos and 3s will get you there.
What's that? Tigran Hassan? Is that the guy that? Yeah. He does the 5 thing. I can't do that crap. I'm an idiot.
His 5 is like his 4. You know.
It's amazing.
Like he starts in 5. So like. You know,
I think is he Albanian? Is that what he is?
He's
Armenian.
He's Armenian.
And I think that's where that language, that kind of that rhythm language comes from. It's an Armenian thing to have 1s separated into 5, which is really cool that he's applying it to the types of music he's creating in.
Mm-hmm.
He's god tier, high key, in my opinion.
So if you want to be god tier, get on the weekly chop challenge. If you win, I'm gonna send you a biscuit.
Hey.
Might be cold, but you're gonna get a biscuit.
So become a cheese curd.
A biscuit boy.
Curd.
So yeah, you guys make sure you submit those before the 26th, and we're gonna review them with Forrest next week. And if you get chosen the winner, you're gonna win a little stack pack from Stack Ring Percussion, which will include a regular stack ring, a small stack ring, and plus some sizzlers. So yeah, this is huge.
Sizzle me, daddy.
So big ups to Stack Ring for sponsoring next week. And anyway, put that away, and we're gonna review it later. So yeah, check that out. That's gonna be real fun. And obviously, make sure you're following us here on Twitch and on Instagram, because that helps the stream. There we go.
There we go.
That's my stuff. So cool. So what about I feel like, Tim, we got to talk about the Big Pearl for a sec.
Hi. I'm trying to talk to that dog. Sorry.
Talk about the Big Pearl, and how'd you get this?
So I got that. There was a guy who had it on Craigslist, and he had like $1,500 on it. It came with a bunch of hardware and cymbals and extra stuff and cases. And I called him, and I just leveled with him. I said, I can't afford to spend that on this, but if you would ever take $1,000, give me a call. And 3 or 4 weeks went by, and he finally called me back, and he's like, hey man, let's do this. And I was so pumped. And so I picked it up. I set it up in my basement and went to town. It's early 70s, white wrap, all fiberglass shells, not the wood fiberglass, literally all fiberglass shells.
Wow.
20, 24, 24, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and a 16 floor. All those are concert toms. The floor tom was double-headed, but I only had the one head on. And that was the goofiest kit I've ever played. I had to literally scooch behind. It's so wide, I had to like move the toms to get behind it to play it. My room's so narrow.
That's insane. Wild. So like, and then I mean, all these Phil Collins videos. You're just playing the Phil Collins fill over many songs.
People love that, man.
So
People
good,
love that.
It's so good. I couldn't believe every time those. I mean, just to see that monstrosity is just like a feat in itself. And listen, and then, and we got to give a big shout out to the red curtains as of late.
Thank you. Those are. Let's give a shout out to Joanne Fabrics. I got a good sale price on those red curtains. It was like $13.
Thanks, Joanne. You're a godsend.
Thanks, Joe.
Well, so we had one question that was given to us on Instagram, and kind of relates again to the metric modulation video. But why are blast beats so funny to non-drummers and drummers alike?
It's so stupid. If it's not in a death metal context, and like if you're trying to do that over pop music, it is the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my life.
Just
That's it. That's it. That's all. Especially, I mean, you have to have another element with it. Whether I'm doing the like thing or if I'm staring into the camera,
yeah,
I think that seals the deal.
seals the deal. Absolutely.
That's right. Saves the day.
Well, very cool. So we kind of had these things we want to talk about. We talked about your office hours. We talked about some of your consulting. What about I have this other video up here. Let me find it.
Oh God.
Let me find it here. Ah, here it is. Okay. Dun dun dun. This is the first video. This is a minute video, and it's about you cooking.
Let's take a peek. Now, when I need to cut a fine piece of Italian bread here for my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'm not going to use this garbage knife because, well, it's not cutting anything. I'm going to get my 2014 20-inch thin crash here because it's got the weight and the thinnest width here of the cymbal itself so that I can go right through the sandwich. As you can see there, one foul swoop, and I'm rocking.
There they are.
When are blast beats funnier than when you're on a Ringo kit?
I couldn't believe it. I didn't do that on purpose. You know, that was
that
was
video is important because that's the one that after that happened, an entry-level artist rep from Zildjian started following me, and then head of artist representation at that time started following me, and then Zildjian, the account, started following me. And that, I think, that really started to spawn some real relationships with companies. I mean, it's gone on to where, you know, guys from Vic follow me, the Vic account follows me, the Remo account follows me. I get reposts from time to time from Zildjian, from Remo, or I'm sorry, from Vic Firth, and I work directly with the contact at Zildjian to create content for them. Sometimes it's really
so
neat.
cool.
I mean, I've flown down to Nashville, spent a long weekend hanging at Pearl with some of their people. I mean, this is what's so cool is that, like, by making these stupid videos, sometimes it attracts the attention of people that are so important that it yields opportunities like this. Even this morning, dude, I got a DM from this gal Amy who plays drums for Fiona Apple, she followed me, and so I sent her a DM because it was crazy because I was literally just listening to the recent record that she played on with Fiona, and I DM'd her, and she was super nice and said like she loves my drumless tracks and my funny videos, and she actually purchased my drumless tracks this morning. So it's like it's just crazy, like what cutting cutting a sandwich with a Zildjian will do, or like, you know, a stupid metric modulation blast beat video will do. It's nuts, man.
Yeah, the internet just does the weirdest things, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, where's that sexy shirt, man? I remember when I first started following you, you were this button down, toting, clean head looking, chin strap wearing drummer, man. Which
I mean, so I got real sick, and I used to wear a lot of like you know, disco shirts and, you know, polyester and stuff, but I can't fit in it anymore because I got sick and I gained weight because my body was broken, and I'm still trying to fix it. So that's why I don't wear any of that no more.
Oh, okay. Well, just
sorry,
know
not
that
a fun answer. Not a fun answer.
I think the chat wants a disco shirt
okay.
one day.
I fucked my knee up and I gained weight because I couldn't work out the way I used to. But I barely. It took me pretty much almost 5 months to get it back. So now I just barely started exercising again.
Oh, good for you.
But on the real, maybe if you're in cahoots with Zildjian, man, you should definitely see if they can make a Zildjian pizza cutter, because I'd buy that shit.
Need. I have the cutting board. They have a cutting board. They just need the pizza cutter.
Man,
now.
my mom has a Vic Firth pepper shaker.
They make a ton of professional kitchen stuff.
Isn't that crazy?
Everybody, I guess, like cooks and stuff, really love the rolling pin that they make.
Ah, that makes sense.
Good rolling pin.
I had this idea. You have a sick knife block, and every handle is just a drumstick. So that way you can flip.
Ooh.
You can practice flipping your sticks with
That's
your
a
knives.
bad idea.
You
That
know?
is a bad, very bad idea.
It encourages drumming and cooking. I think that's something that I'm gonna do one day. We're gonna call it Elton Chops.
Ooh.
Elton Chops, and we're gonna make drumstick knives so you can rock out when you're cooking. You're just kidding. Not gonna. Yeah. And a Twitch stream isn't complete without the air horn. That's a direct quote from Sarge right there. Wow. Vic Firth has a pepper shaker. They do. They do have a pepper shaker.
They do. The redhead chef. I forgot his name.
Redhead chef.
Yeah, there was a redhead chef. He was on the Food Channel. He was on Iron Chef and shit.
Oh, wow.
I remember I saw the video, but he's like a drummer or whatever, and he got in cahoots with fucking Vic Firth, and Vic Firth produced his the first versions of that pepper grinder or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah,
wow.
Pepper grinder. That's the right pepper shaker. The heck am I saying? So maybe it's a good thing to ask. Do you have any endorsements, Tim?
So I
or who are you
endorsed
endorsed by?
I talk about this a lot, and I don't have any formal endorsements. I've got relationships, and I don't like to speak too much on them. But I guess it's just to say that, I know people at Zildjian.
Got it.
And they've been really, really kind to me. I have folks at a lot of companies, and sometimes it's the people I work with. Like I mentioned earlier, this Franklin Drum Company. And I feel very fortunate that people take an interest in what I do and an interest in what I have to say.
Do you find that they're reaching out to you more than you're reaching out to them, or is it it's a dance?
Honestly, it's generally they reach out to me in some way or form, even if it's just a follow. Sometimes, usually what happens is it'll be a follow, and then I do a lot of DM conversations. So my contact at Pearl, he was following me from his primary account, and we started DMing. I had no clue who he was. Turns out he's one of the longest tenured employees at Pearl here in the U.S. And that's how I started that working relationship. Zildjian was the same thing. I messaged that entry level rep about ordering. I wanted to get a 24K con because they were, they don't make them no more. Mine cracked. And so I messaged this, or actually I think I emailed her at that point. And I said, hey, is there any way I could buy one of these from Sound Lab? Could you do me a Sound Lab prototype or something? I'd be more than willing to pay, whatever. And that's how they actually sent me. They called it a one-time artist accommodation.
Cool.
And so they gave me that 24K con for free, that was wild. So, it's no endorsements, but I mean, again, it's these relationships that help me get everywhere. It's the relationship that got me into NAMM and actually put me up while I was, in California at NAMM. And it's the relationships that helped me meet a bunch of people that were at NAMM. So it's just crazy.
That is crazy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How many kits you got right now?
Not a lot. I got that Revette kit, 18, 12, 14. I got the green kit, which is a downbeat, 20, 12, 14. That's a classic maple. And then I got Old Moldy, which is the crazy colored one. That's 22, 13, 16.
Is that the one? Is that this one?
That's Old Moldy.
Okay. Do you mean this one? No, I'm kidding.
And then I have a little MIJ kit. It's 2012, 16 with a snare. That's good. That's for a friend. It's going to be a gift. And then, so that'll be out of here. But really, I just have those three main kits right now. And then I'll have the Franklin kit that's coming.
That's crazy. Yeah, Franklin does the Coke bottle green, right?
They just did that Coke bottle green kit, which is very, very dope.
Yeah, because I got an ad. I got an Instagram ad by them, and I was like, oh wow, I haven't seen this. I didn't know it was them. Revival, but
no, it's not Revival, but rather Risen.
I mean Risen. I didn't know it was Yeah, I
That
didn't
used
know
to be
the
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know the lore to Frank. I was like, oh, new, and I was like, damn, because I saw the badge and I was like, damn, the badge is actually
Badge is dope. They worked
yeah,
on. We worked on that for a while.
yeah, because it's got like a not Roger, I mean, kind of a Rogers vibe because
Yeah,
it's
the
like the
scripty kind of thing.
yeah. So it's I love that because it's
Yeah.
like straight to the point. You know, it's
Yep.
not. You know, I think certain badges can be overrated sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like especially the Gretsch Square badge. I think that's like one of the worst badges ever. Honestly.
How we doing over there, Matt?
Man, my dog is barking up a
Put that
storm
dog
over.
in the freaking bathtub and close the door.
I'm trying just to manage my freaking
He's
volume
picking
over
up
here.
Tim's energy, man. 'Cause Tim's loud.
Yo, I had a question for you, Tim, and it's super nerdy, super drummer, but it's a 3-part question. So pay attention here. It's
Oh,
what's
God.
your favorite drummer in the past 5 years, the past 10 years, and then the past 30? Like
Okay, I'll start oldest to newest.
All right.
Oldest is Jason Tate. He played in a band called the Weaker Dance from Canada. He plays with Bahamas now. Amazing drummer, and he's been the biggest influence on my voice as a drummer. Not a lot of guys know him because it was like a Canadian band. I mean, I really don't, other than him, I really don't cite a lot of like favorite drummers or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of someone who I really like to watch. I mean, like of the last couple years, someone who I really love watching because I can't do what they do. Well, what she does is Annika Nils. Like, whew, I just like I forget where I was on. I might have been on like an Instagram TV thing or like a podcast or something, and I was basically saying that like the way I think about Annika's playing is she reminds me of like if Jeff Porcaro got into today's music. Really embraced playing these kind of fives over 4 and weird subdivisions that just sound amazing in context on a technical level, but then also her groove and her sense of pocket is something I really appreciate. Who else? I got to go through my Instagram list now. I mean, really, those are the 2 big names that come to mind. Jason,
Sure.
again, just like
Sure.
such a big influence on my voice. Other than that, it's just like I'm more inspired by music itself than drummers. And so like I try to think musically as a player. Again, this is kind of the difference between an Instagram player and a studio player is I try to think of, I mean, obviously I'm going to do chops and stuff for the gram because that's what everybody wants to hear. But personally, if I'm going to work, I can't chop all over the place. And so I do cherish musical drummers, and I try to bring that into my playing more than chippity chops.
Sure. We got Sarge's answer. Sarge says Roger
He
Taylor.
said something about a sexy shirt or something. Was that him asking about the shirt earlier?
Yeah, he asked where's that sexy shirt. We got so Sarge says this is pretty cool. Roger Taylor is his oldest drummer that he likes. Darren Jesse is the mid from Ben Folds 5, and then the recent Jason McGurr. McGurr. Yeah. So man, I don't know.
Sarge loves Roger Taylor. Sarge was in a Queen cover band that like did big gigs for a while when he was in college, and so I totally get that. Roger Taylor's a great drummer, underrated drummer in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I was put on the spot with that Drum Mag interview and with that question. Yeah, that must be such an interesting thing to see in print after you're done answering that question. You're like, I hope they read it, or I hope they don't read it, or I hope someone doesn't ask me to like some rare record that I didn't hear or something. That's like the worst thing ever. Oh man, we got everyone. Harry Marie, Danny Carey, and Gavin Harrison. Dude, these are all ones I don't know. That's interesting.
That's interesting to have Harry Murray as an influence. You know, Harry I appreciate as a, I guess you could say, as like a media figure
Mm.
in the drumming community, because I dig his energy, super positive. And I dig he's super real too. He did a video on like, hey, here's how much I've made a year, every year for the last 5 years as a drummer. And I really liked that video. I thought that was great. I don't
Was
know if
is
y'all
that the
saw that.
guy? He has like a short black hair,
He's kind of, hey,
goatee.
my dudes, hey,
Yeah. Okay.
Deuterino, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. He's funny, Deuterino, right? Yeah, dude. And
yeah, something, dude,
oh
yeah.
gosh, he's a YouTube guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And I kind of put him in the same like Adam Neely, like YouTubers, been around the block for a while and
I got one. You know who I really like? Richard Spaven.
ah,
Richard Spaven is gas.
he's sick.
Woo!
He's
Yeah.
gas. You know who you should check out? Who's like in that European jazz scene?
Huh?
Jamie Pete.
Jamie Pete. How do you spell that? Jamie.
Jamie like Jamie, and then
Yeah.
Pete Peet.
Pee.
Yeah, Peet. He's like in that Richard Spaven alley. Like they're kind of both like yin and yang.
Man, since we're on the European stuff too, Yusuf Diaz is one of my favorite drummers out there too. He's coming out like very, very hot right
His
now.
new record's good.
Yeah,
Is
the
it?
live one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Jeremy Jua about Yusuf Days, because like, to be honest, like he's not like the craziest drummer, right? But like the thing about him is that he's got really fat pocket and groove, and he has dope musicians with him. But when he does like those live sessions, like, they're produced very well. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that's like what's cool about him, because he does the live shit, but like it's produced like it's like overdub shit.
and two, he's a very, I mean, you could call him a busy player, but it's never like busy in the way. You know, he uses a lot of like hella ghost notes and like likes to roll around the kit a lot, like use the
Well,
whole.
and he does the
busy.
concert tom thing too, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Like nobody else is
Yeah.
doing that, and he's just like, I'm taking my bottom heads off.
Sure.
He's like just doing it.
Sure.
Yeah. I did that for a long time too. You know who was doing it for a really long time? They don't do it anymore. Mike Mitchell was doing it.
Yeah.
Mike Mitchell, when he was playing with Stanley Clark, he was his bottom heads are always off.
Sarge mentioned the drummer from the 1975, which I don't know that guy, George Daniel, but I do know another guy who played for him, Freddie Sheed. Britain has so many good drummers, like Yusuf, obviously. Freddie is a real underrated player. He produced, MD'd, and drummed for the Japanese House for a while, which is a electronic singer songwriter. Really, really amazing work there, and his drumming work is amazing. Ton of stuff out there by him. I would recommend checking him out.
That must be Jeff Bezos at the door all the
It's
time.
got to be him.
This
Let me
guy.
get that Amazon money.
We got a question. If you started doing solo shows and clinics, touring, who would you use as a drum, or would you use a drum tech?
Use a drum tech? I don't use enough gear, and I don't make enough money to warrant getting a drum tech.
Okay, let's say that you had the money.
If I was
And the gear.
balling, oh yeah, give me the drum tech. I ain't got to do nothing but show up.
I
And,
love those people that measure my angles, of my toms, and they're like, okay, 45. Okay, no, it's 46, you guys. No. I watched there's a funny interview of Carter Buford's drum tech on YouTube, and he's been with them for like multiple years, like decades, and he talks about his early setups with Carter, and he talks about funny like saves during the show, like mid song head changes. I mean, that's a real gig, to like be a drum tech or be a guitar tech, to like keep your artist's stuff in working order so that they can do their thing and not worry, is like very, very clutch.
it's a tough gig. I had a Joe, that guy I mentioned earlier, Joe Cox, who works with Bob. It's a really interesting job. It's much tougher, I think, than people think. People think, oh, you just set up the drums and hang out. Like, no, there's a lot more that goes into this, and I think that's why, you know, I've been really fortunate to spend a lot of time with Joe on gigs, including we had the amazing opportunity. The band he works with opened for Green Day at Wrigley Field in Chicago. We had free reign of Wrigley for the day. You know, we got to. They're British. They don't know anything about baseball. So I'm like, we got to go touch the ivy out in the outfield and sit behind home plate and this, that, and the other. But to see him working then after we were putzing around is just like it's really, you know, I don't know. It gives you just a much bigger appreciation for that type of work.
So how much would you pay your drum tech?
He gets $3 cash,
and all the chocolate he could eat.
All the chocolate you want. It's store brand though. You only get house brand chocolate, no name brands. You get Eileen's chocolates.
Damn.
Only Mr. Goodbars. Only
Oh
Mr.
no.
So apparently that CNC abalone.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Jacob. Yeah, right now, and he said me. He was like, "Oh yeah, we gotta check if we have have it in stock. It comes from New Zealand."
Yeah, they get it from, I forget what the name of the guy is, Abalone Guy or something. Like literally called Abalone Guy.
Who's your abalone guy?
Who's your fucking abalone guy, man? Give me the fucking facts. Just roll up to the drum shop with a pistol. I'm sorry, I'm getting aggressive. My bad.
I love it.
Give me the who's the guy? You know, it was crazy. I saw this fucking snare the other day. You know, it's funny because I like to look at old Craviotto snares, because Craviotto was always on some shit, and they have this crazy abalone snare, but it's like purple. It's like more of a purple abalone.
I'm gonna look that up.
It's yeah. Pull it up on the screen.
Yeah, hold on.
Let's see.
Flying the spaceship over here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, are you talking about this? You talking about that?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
That shit is
And
fucking.
that's real abalone, because it's probably hard to tell here, but it's very small strips up and down, which is real abalone.
That shit is gas. That shit costs $300 in inlay. That's like, but like when I'm like rich and famous and shit, or whatever the fuck, whatever happens, I don't know, if I win the lotteries, I'm gonna get like a full
abalone kit.
No, I'm gonna get like three bass drum, or no, two bass drums. Well, not to like be on some dumb shit and play it all at the same
Have a
time.
shell bank. Yeah, shell bank.
Yeah, shell bank. Like I'm gonna be on the 20 by 14, 13 by 9, and 16, and then the bop configuration, which is 18 by 12, and then the 12 by 8, 14 by 8. I kind of want to stick to the whole aesthetic of the 14 by 13 and the 16 by 15 type of
I
shit.
love that about CNCs. It's not a huge change, but I think it does just enough in kind of lowering the sustain level, so it's more pleasant.
Plus, like, people are gonna be like, "Why the fuck does that kid look different?"
We got a question,
like,
y'all.
why? And they might not know why.
We got a question. We got what drum books or videos would you guys use? Say left the biggest, longest lasting imprint on your thinking and playing behind the kit. Can I answer this first?
Please.
Dude, everyone's gonna hate it, and I love it that you're gonna hate it. And this isn't anything too crazy, but when I got my first big boy kit, it was the PDP White Onyx, and it came with Tommy Ego's.
Yeah, Ego.
Ego.
Ego. Yeah,
I call him
Ego.
Tommy Ego.
You should call him that.
And no drumming lasted it, but it's the fact that in the middle of this video, and if I'm sure so many people have seen this video, he makes his cameraman zoom in because he dropped his drum key, and he's like, "Yo, you guys, you better get 3 of these drum keys, so cause look," and he literally makes his camera, come here, and he has his cameraman zoom in on the drum key, like on the floor, like underneath the bass drum, where you can't see it. Longest lasting impression of videos. Okay, you're next, Tim.
So book, I'd say Stick Control. It's one of the, and that's for me learning. And I used to teach out at Tommy Igo's book, Groove Essentials, which is a great book. DVDs, Tommy Igo's Great Hands for a Lifetime. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of things that Tommy Igo is about or the way that he lives his life, but he's a freaking great educator and a great player. Um, and then the other DVD that surprisingly still has left the probably the biggest lasting impression on me is Gene Hoglan's Atomic Clock DVD. Gene Hoglan played with Strapping Young Lad, um, and a bunch of metal bands, and he played with Death. And he has some hand exercises. I used to have a bunch of wrist and joint issues when I was still playing death metal, and that kind of helped me after I quit playing death metal, even to keep my wrists
You never
and joints
quit
in check.
playing death metal.
I mean, I guess technically I still blast, but it's a freaking joke now.
What about you, Brandon? You got a favorite book and DVD?
Fuck no. No, I'm just kidding. Damn, man. I'm being real honest. I don't know if this is surprising to you, or I don't know. I haven't really studied out of a book at all.
Wow.
Like, even I think,
What about DVDs? Do you ever watch DVDs or like YouTube videos or anything?
dude, it was all fucking YouTube. Back when all the Hudson Music shit
Yeah.
and the Modern Drummer shit
it was all ripped.
yeah, it was still on YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
And then remember when Modern Drummer always came out with a video every year, and then like Guitar Center had the drum off still.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad because all that shit's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no one gives a fuck about. It's all Instagram now, which is cool too, you know, because it's like more interactive. Like, let's say when I grew up, I was 9 years old. I found Thomas Pridgeon, changed my life. Now I'm friends with two producers. You know, one of them's Javier Santiago, one of them, my friend Julio, and they play in a trio with Thomas Pridgeon.
Wow.
And like, I'm just a handshake away from, like, you know, it's cool because the internet's like that. And, like, we're talking to you, you know, I never thought I'd interview you in my life, and you used to come out on my store, on my Explore page, like, all the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like one of those things. It's like, but like, really what it was like, I was part of a group of young kids that it was kind of like it was like a program. It wasn't very expensive because it was for like low income like families to get their kids to play instruments. And you know, I got really good. I took a little bit of lessons, and I just taught myself off YouTube. And like, I got into the gospel chop shit super early in the game, 10 years old, and I was like, okay, this is like, it's like linear drumming, metal, fusion, like that's like that was like what I was listening to, like mainly progressive metal, and like kind of like and kind of like some indie stuff at the same time. That's kind of like what I was, and then I got into jazz a little later. But it's the ear training.
Yeah.
I just did a lot of ear training. I got some technique from school, from doing marching, ear training, and fucking YouTube. That's it. Like, and like just digging, being a digger, being like a crate digger with music is like really what got me super good at drums, because that like work ethic of like trying to find that shit that nobody is on, like, is in my drumming. Because like one of my things is like, I feel like, okay, I feel like I'm only a crazy drummer because I'm playing shit that like is mine, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually trying to utilize like a real taste, like because when I play drums, I want people to be like, wow, like that's Brandon. Nobody plays like Brandon, because that's Brandon, you know? And I feel like that's more important than being like, oh, I have all these licks, I have all these chops. Because it's like, you could have all these licks, all these chops, you could sound like a goofball, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, like, I'm just, you know, like, ear training. That's the thing too. Like, you know, what I want to start studying with a friend of mine is swing again. I want to learn how to swing a little bit better, but more like on some contemporary swing, because I want to integrate it more on a contemporary level. Like let's say the way like Mark Juliana would play jazz. Like, I want to play jazz more like on some contemporary shit, you know, or like Justin Brown. Whenever Justin Brown plays a bop kit, you know, I want to sound like that. Not that I want to sound like Justin Brown, but like I want to be
in that vein,
in that vein
voice.
of like contemporary jazz. Like, That's like the only that what I've been on. But I can do that with the ear, and I can like write stuff down and record stuff. You know, I use different types of technology to train myself and
Sure.
actually shedding and playing, and like also having a conversation with yourself while you play. Like
Mm.
Nate Wood talks about this. It's like, you practice, you get all your inspiration, you get on the kit, you practice and search for new ideas and try things that you can't do yet, and then you like just like add to the vault, and then you
Mm.
just and then you get to a point where you don't even have to think about the vault. The vault's just channeling through
Mm-hmm.
your being, and then it's all
That's what's up.
it's all ogre after that.
I totally dig it though, because I mean that's really how I did it too. I didn't have any money as a kid to figure out what I was doing or to take lessons, and so I've taken like 5 drum lessons in my whole life. You listen to prog metal. One of them was with Matt from Periphery back in the
Yeah,
day
yeah,
before
yeah.
they got famous.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the stuff centered around technique, not on licks or whatever. I did see one question a couple of questions I want to address. So someone did ask about the drum troll, and I want to say that I'm just going to say this. I'm not the drum troll, and I'm not saying anything about what happened to them. And also, someone asked, can you go up to that question just above there? Something about Drumeo.
Oh, I got it. It's would you ever want to be featured on Drumeo or collab with any of the other YouTube drummers like R David R or Drum Beats Online?
So I would love to work with any of those people, but I don't think. R David R, he knows who I am, but not a lot of people know who I am. I love that Drum Beats Online dude. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking 80/20 drummer. I love 80/20 drummer.
You should
People
do
like
something
that.
with R. David R. though, because I feel if y'all collaborated on some like
It could be
rest,
cool.
like if you and him collaborated on a restoration video, that
That
it
could
would
be
just
cool.
make too much sense. It makes too much sense to me.
And I don't know, this person must not know too much about me, but I did have the opportunity to speak with Jared Falk from Drumeo. This was about, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. We did an IG live for like 45 minutes. Drumeo had reached out to me and said like, hey, would you mind talking to Jared on live for a while? I said, sure. And at the end of the 45 minutes, he told me, Jared said, once the pandemic is over, we're getting you up here to do Drumeo videos. So
yes,
that will be happening. I will be on Drumeo in the next 2 to 4 years.
maybe if you get vaccinated.
And if the borders open up again, shoot.
Oh, I forgot about the damn border.
Can't even get to Canada
Jeez.
right now. My
Damn.
partner's brother is stuck in Canada. Can't even get back to New York.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He goes to college there, but he couldn't come back for the holidays to the house or anything. It's a bummer.
Jeez. Yeah. What did you go into any detail with what you would do on Drumeo?
We haven't talked about it yet. I got a bunch of ideas, but
What
I'm
you
gonna
want
keep
to
that quiet.
ask
I'm
the
gonna
chat if it's a good idea? No. Okay. All right. Fine.
I'm gonna keep that quiet until I
Okay.
talk to Jared about what he wants out of me.
I feel man. I want to see you do a pad exercise next to that guy with the glasses.
Who's the guy with the glasses?
I don't know. Who's the guy with the glasses? Chat.
Me? No, I'm just kidding.
Nah. No, that'd be cool. Or
Hey, what
Dan
happened to your
Mayo?
glasses? I didn't even see you take them off. What the fuck?
Oh, I can't wear them all. I have to wear them just enough so that I don't get headaches. And then if I wear them too long, my eyes start like the autofocus on a camera.
Oh, you have really bad vision. So do I.
Yeah.
I have really bad vision too.
yeah, you
Don't
could
worry.
do a Blast Beats demo on Drumeo, Tim.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, Blast Beats 101 with Tim Baltes.
Can
Oh
you
my
imagine
God.
that? And Jared would be like, "Okay, now we're gonna do this in 4/4. Okay, let's put the tempo up. Okay." I think
Oh,
it's
no.
yeah.
What happened to Kobus, man? That motherfucker.
He's
fell
coming
the-
back. He fell off. I heard he lost his practice space because he didn't have enough income. He posted on YouTube. He lost his practice space because he didn't have enough info. And then what else? Or I'm sorry, he lost it because he didn't have enough money or whatever. And then what else? And then I think he just took a break, but I think he's back at it now, and he's trying to fundraise enough money to get a space to start making videos again. What are we talking about with Dimitri Fantini?
I think that's the guy with the glasses.
Funny enough, we've talked about collaborating. We might be working on a project in the near future. But yeah, we've known each other for a few years now. We hung out at NAMM. That was the first time we actually met.
Yeah.
So, NAMM connection, another
Yeah.
NAMM connection.
Yeah. Hey.
That
Hey.
name,
Thanks,
that
Jake. Appreciate it,
that
man.
name reminds me of Anthony Fantano.
Everybody says I look like him, and to everybody who thinks that, please unfollow me.
Dude, I thought, okay, so low key, don't judge me because I didn't know who Dimitri Fantini was, and I saw I think like a thumbnail of a video that you mentioned Dimitri Fantini, and then I was like, is he trying to like make fun of Anthony Fantano because he looks like him? And then I was like, damn, that's actually fucking clever. That's dope. And then it was like not it, and I was like, oh, okay. I stared at the floor and just like walked.
Oh
off
no! Oh no!
Dang.
Like, damn, how embarrassing. I was kidding.
So hey, I think this might be a good little thing. I know, Tim, you just put out a new set of drumless tracks.
I did, yeah.
And for all the drummers in here, you should really go check those out. From what I understand, they're name your own. Are they still name your own price, or
yeah? So you can get any of the volumes are free. I believe all the volumes are free still. There's like, I don't know, more than 600 tracks available online via the link in my bio. I just released a new one,
like
which
yesterday,
kind of focuses
right?
on hip hop, synth, some indie, and also there's also more of a focus on tracks that involve some programming in them. And so it's kind of interesting that now you have this other element that you have to start kind of thinking around with your drum kit. So that's kind of the focus on the new one.
Yeah. How did you come up with the names of all the songs?
I literally just sit there and I'll have like a movie on or whatever, and I'll just like let stuff. I was a copywriter for years, not like copyright, but copy, WRITER, which is basically like a graphic designer, but for words.
Okay.
And so I just love making up stupid names for them and having fun with it.
Well, sick. So anyone in the chat that wants to, I mean, I'm sure if you're familiar with Tim, you already know this, but yeah, go out and you can find those on where?
Bandcamp.com. It's called Slow Recording Co. But if you go to my Instagram, Timbo from Keno, TIMBO FROMKENO, it's the link in my bio.
Yeah, link in his bio. We have his Tim's Instagram right here in your bottom right corner. Peep that, obviously. And man, post a video of you playing those stuff for Tim's and do your best Timbo impression first, and then play. I think that's a better call. And then. Brad, I haven't watched that movie in years.
And then.
What's your favorite from?
That's from Dude, Where's My Car?
And then.
The best and worst Ashton Kutcher movie.
I was just
arguably.
Fuck Ashton Kutcher, bro.
You heard it here.
That fucker's career has always been fucking mid, man. Like, just always on the mid shit, man.
That's a very strong Ashton Kutcher opinion there. It's the strongest one I think I've ever heard.
I mean, he's fucking Kelso, bro. Come on. Oh, Wisconsin!
What?
Hello, Wisconsin, bro. The 70s show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ashton Kutcher ruined 2.5 Men. Agreed.
He did.
Agreed.
Dude, he ruined the fucking Apple movie, bro.
Apple movie?
He's Steve Jobs.
Oh, really?
Movie. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Y'all forgot about that?
I haven't watched that.
I haven't seen that.
Dang.
He's Steve Jobs like a motherfucker.
Steve Jabs?
Steve Jabs.
Sounds like Ashton and the Volvo is the Volvo of acting careers. Hey, my first car was a Volvo, so I guess everyone's first.
Ashton Kutcher is the fucking Kia of the fucking.
Yeah.
The fucking.
It runs janky, but it runs forever.
He's like a Hyundai. He's like a Hyundai.
The Elantra.
No, he's the Hyundai Genesis. I'll give him that. The Hyundai Genesis.
Like fake rich?
Yeah, he's the Hyundai Genesis. For sure.
No.
Yeah, so if Ashton, you're watching, we hate you. Get out of our lives.
Unfollow me. I know you follow me now,
Please,
Ashton.
get out of here with your.
Listen, if Bill Burr can follow me for 2 weeks, Ashton can follow and unfollow me immediately.
Bro, they're talking about how Ashton was tapping Demi Moore. Demi Moore is mid too. Nah, I'm just kidding.
So much hate.
Dang. we're getting near the end here, and we're just gonna rip on
We're off
Ashton
the
for the next
rails. We are off
15.
the rails at this
We are
point.
buck wild now.
Yeah, man.
What else we got to cover? We got anything
Yeah,
we want
I
to
got-
wrap up here with?
I got a couple ending things here, but
Okay.
but first, since before we ended, I wanna grab up on this 540 challenge. Boom, we got the 540 challenge, everybody. If you're a drummer, please fill out your best 5/4 beat. We did mention it can be any type of 5/4. It can be big 5, it can be small 5, or something in quintuplets. Quintuplets. And you want to post 30 seconds of video to your Instagram, your grooviest, filthiest, whateverest, youest beat in 5/4. Tag us with the Drumstream 540. And next week we're going to review our favorite 10 with Forrest Rice, who's going to be on here. Forrest Rice is going to be on our stream next week.
Also, one more thing.
Yeah.
Extra points to those who can incorporate 3 types of 5 subdivisions in their video.
Wow.
Dang.
Triple the subdivision.
Yeah, like if they can
prize.
incorporate 5/4 feel and switch to a like, you know, maybe like a 15/16. That's gonna impress me.
There's some creativity there.
You're trying to win a fucking stack ring right now, and you're trying to impress my shit. So,
Yeah, it should be known if the winner does get a stack pack sponsored by Stack Ring Percussion, who's going to sponsor the stream next week, and that it will include a regular stack ring, a small stack ring, and some sizzlers, which you can just throw on your cymbal and have a lot of fun. And they bounce and they make your cymbal sound fun. Fun cymbals for all. Fun cymbals for you if you enter this contest, the Weekly Chop Challenge. Please, and make sure you check it out. Follow us on Instagram and here on Twitch. You don't need to subscribe to us on Twitch. You can just follow. That doesn't cost any money, although we would welcome your subscription. Here we go. All right, that's all that. Let's see. Some of my last things that I wanted to talk about. Did I forget anything? We didn't really quite hit Fox Studios. I know that was something that you were doing for a while, but is that coming back anytime soon with you?
No, so I worked with a production team for a few years, 3 years. That's the one production team that I did all the Disney and the Fox and all the video game stuff with. I stopped working with them in 2019 when I left that day job and started doing the music thing full time.
Yeah.
We had talked about working together again in 2020. They had been working with a drummer whose name rhymes with Dag Deezanet, and they said that they preferred my drumming to his. So
Whoa.
yeah, that was a big honor. And so that kind of fell apart because budgets probably plummeted after the pandemic started. So wah. But you know, I'm honored to have done what I did. You know, several shows, Disney soundtracks for the Tokyo Park, several things for the cruise line.
That's so cool though.
TV specials, movie background music in movies. I did that song. I did pre-pro on the song from The Greatest Showman that won the Grammy. So all sorts of stuff.
Wow. Dang. So man, you guys, I hope you're seeing that. You know, to make it, to do cool things, you got to do a frick ton of things.
You got to do this forever, and then you just have to hope that you get a shot. You know, I mean, that's all it is. And if you don't, make sure you're enjoying what you're doing.
Absolutely. So, what can we expect out of Timbo from Kino in the next 6 months? What's some goals?
Okay, so hopefully we're going to be doing the T-shirt, limited edition T-shirt next month.
I'm gonna get one of those.
March or April, maybe May. I'm probably May. Who am I kidding? Probably May. We're looking at the release of an online masterclass that's going to cover everything, hopefully from playing to drum selection, tuning, engineering, you know, all of these sorts of things that I do that I'm questioned about constantly. And so that'll have everything in one little package. What's
that going to be hosted on? The masterclass.
I'm still looking at different options. I'm thinking either Gumroad or
Cool.
Vimeo, probably
Cool.
Vimeo. Dan did his class on there, and that seemed to work pretty well for him.
Mm-hmm.
I've also thought about doing it on Patreon, but that's another chat for another day.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see. It'll be on something. And then other than that, another thing that I'm kicking around is starting a podcast with a very good friend of mine, John Perrin, who plays with NRBQ. He also played with the Beatles, the big Beatles band that George Harrison's sister puts together. So we have two he's younger than me, but he knows a lot of older people. So I don't know Josh Freeze through Disney, but that was in reference to the chat. But so hopefully that podcast will get off the ground too. Lots of stuff though. I'm just and eventually long-term goal is I'm going to hopefully be getting a roster of weekly students together by the end of the year and be doing that thing.
Well, so if anyone's looking to study with Tim, obviously hit him up in his DMs. I know he's a great guy, great dude. I would do it.
Thank you.
Highly recommend. A lesson. He can teach you about how to do your makeup too, and how to.
And I think that's kind of like my strong point here is that I think if you're trying to start like an Instagram, that's where I can really help. But in any one of these aspects, whether someone wants to study how to play or how to record, how to film, how to optimize social media, or how to get to whatever your goal is, I can help. So give me a holler. And before we end, I do want to say a big thank you to you Matt and Brandon for having me here on the Twitch. It's been a fun little 2-hour get together, and I just really appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, give it up. Wait, hold on. I have a sound effect for this.
We got a sound effect.
I got a sound effect for this. Let's give it up for Tim. Okay.
I can't tell if that's applause or a rain stick, but I appreciate it.
Oh, it's
I was
it's applause.
pissed, bro. I'm sorry,
It could be. We never know. So
it was because it was like creeping in like that. I was like, damn, shit sounds like piss. I'm sorry.
there it is. All right. So man, I think we're probably gonna split. I'm gonna throw you guys over to Kiefer's channel, because Kiefer's, if you're still with us, we're gonna raid Kiefer's channel. So make sure you stick around and learn some sweet beats from him. Huge thanks to Tim. Huge thanks to Brandon for kicking it with us today. Make sure, I'm gonna put this flyer up one more time. If you guys are really interested, you check out our weekly chop challenge, where you can post a beat, use our hashtag #TheDrumStream540. We're looking to get to 540 followers on Instagram. Fuck it, and Twitch. That'd be sick as fuck by next week. If you're not subscribed to us here on Twitch or following us on Twitch, please do that. It helps us out. And check us out on Instagram. We'll be posting a bunch of stuff. Holy cow, my dog. And next week we're gonna have Forrest Rice on the stream. So
and hopefully not a dog.
Yeah, and hopefully not this goddamn dog. Anyway, all right. So peace. Oh wait, can I do that? Flying my spaceship out here. So peace out, you guys. We're gonna raid you over to Kiefer. Here you go. Bye.
Bye.
I think I started the raid.
It happened?
I think so.
Are you shooting them over there?
Keys and stuff,
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, dude. I'm trying to see how long this
Okay.
pro gets.
And I'm gonna stop
Dude,
streaming.
it actually would be long.